I'm one of the Screen Lake science teachers, Ms. Barker, and I teach biology, and my kids this week and last week actually, have been learning a little bit about the coronavirus, and we just thought we'd share with you what we've learned so far. So, we've got a map here from Johns Hopkins University that shows the cases that have happened. Then we've been keeping tabs on this a little bit for you. And the United States is where we're at right now today. But probably, to make sense out of this thing, you really need to know a little bit about the virus and information like that. So start with the idea of what the coronavirus is. And the coronavirus actually jumped from an animal species into humans. And it's something that's novel, meaning that we've not seen it in human species before. And therefore, we don't really have any immunity built up to it at this point. So unlike the flu, which has been in the human population for a while, we have antibodies all ready to go and we have some immunity. There's no vaccine for this at this point. Obviously, scientists are working on that as we speak. But thanks to evolution, this virus came out of animals and made its way into humans, and here we are dealing with it today. So that's a little bit about the background on the virus. The actual outbreak started in Wuhan, China in December of just a couple months ago, and it's obviously took over there pretty quickly, as you've heard about that in the news and all that, and it's now made its way to the United States, and here we are working with that. So what are the chances of us getting it up here? Nobody knows. There's a lot of unknown about this virus and the actual disease, the respiratory illness that it causes, but they do know one thing, and that one thing is that there are certain people that are more susceptible or more at risk to developing complications from this than others, and that would be elderly, that would be people with immunocompromised systems, and that's probably the scary part for us is the unknown. So we talked about, basic idea, the fact that it's this novel virus that's in us, and we've talked about individuals that are more at risk than others, but how do you even know if you have the virus? And some of the symptoms that are with this are dry cough, fever, and kind of flu-like symptoms. So it's one of those things that during flu season, it's really kind of hard to figure out what you have. So it takes a few days for those symptoms to develop. That's part of the problem, is that you could be walking around and already have been in contact with someone a couple of days ago before you even start developing symptoms. So it's kind of a good idea to keep track of where you've been and what you've been up to. I know that's harder for some of us to remember than others. So we mentioned the symptoms, and now we're going to talk about how you can reduce your risk of coming into contact with the coronavirus, or, that's what we want to do, reduce your risk. So you might see a lot of people running around with masks on television, and that's really not a good thing from what I understand, because the masks are needed in the medical profession by the medical doctors that see us and take care of us, and they really aren't going to help you from getting it, but if you actually are sick, then it might help you from passing it on, because it can be spread in the respiratory droplets, and so that would be one of the issues. So mask, probably not something that you really need unless you are a sick person traveling somewhere. Things that we really can do is wash our hands and practice good personal hygiene. Keep those hands away from your face, and I have to hold my hands to keep them away from my face because they just naturally want to gravitate that way. But try not to be around people that are sick, and if you are, just kind of keep track of symptoms that might be developing, and definitely get in touch with your medical professional as soon as you have any concerns. So I hope that was helpful.